This episode is brought to you by Amazon Business. How can you free up your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business empowers leaders to not only streamline purchasing, but better support their teams so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more about the technology, insights, and support available at amazonbusiness.com.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I was in the last episode, I did kind of mention that a little bit, where I wanted to talk on Porch Pirates. You know, those people that they pretty much follow after any delivery service, whether it's like, UPS, FedEx, Amazon. Follow after them, I guess, determine that, something may be valuable within the size of that box that they just dropped off at them people's homes. And something that they didn't pay for. The people that lived in that home, they pay for that stuff. But follow behind these trucks, steal these people's stuff. And then I guess, if they're all like, if it's something worth keeping, then I'll keep it. Or if they want to sell it, do whatever. And man, the amount of times where I've then seen stories, more so videos and stuff, done read stories about these Porch Pirate people. And it's like, bro, it's one of those things where I'm like, if you guys watch videos on my main channel, I do a lot of different reaction videos. And the one types of videos that I have been doing recently are body cam videos and stuff. And in some of these videos, you not so much with Porch Pirates, but you'll see where people be shoplifting or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, you have a car, you have that time to drive up, you're wasting gas money to drive up to this Walmart or Target or whatever, but you're wasting gas money to drive up to this place so you can steal. Does that make any sense? Honestly, and if it does, please explain to me. Please explain to me in a thief's terminology. How does that make any sense that you're wasting gas money? No. Hold on for a second. Let's just sit down and think. Because there's been times where I ain't seen some people you see where people, they be stealing food because they hungry. And I'm like, okay, usually them people don't have no car. They don't have normal living conditions and stuff. And I'm like, with situations like that, I'm like, okay, best thing to do is to not steal. But if you need food, I'm like, there are places that you could go to for that type of stuff. I'm like, there should be some stores where they should do that, where it's they should set some food aside for the homeless and things. So at least then it's you can, homeless can come through and they get whatever they need to get and they ain't got to steal and mess up that business. But overall, companies ain't trying to do no stuff like that. So a lot of the times, you are seeing homeless people. They are off up in those places, but there's people where they're not homeless. They're not stealing because, they're trying to make some money. They're stealing because they got a problem. So I was like, the one video that I seen, it was these people, they were stealing. Because that's the thing that people don't be understanding, is that when it gets to a certain amount, it counts as a felony charge. You can't just be out there stealing whatever you want to steal and then thinking there ain't gonna be no consequences or repercussions behind it. No. So they showed when these people, they came up to, I think it was a mall or a shoe store or something. Or was it a Dick's sporting goods store? I can't remember, but anyways, they went to this store. They stole all these different pairs of Nike shoes. Now, for those that don't know, because I'm a little bit of a sneaker expert myself, that was actually the whole reason on why I decided to do this podcast, or the main motivation behind this podcast episode. I had ordered me some shoes, and I was like, nah, let me hurry up and go down there and get them, because, if I see somebody trying to take my stuff, I'm like, it's going to be a problem outside. I'm going to come back to a podcast, I'm going to be out of breath, and I'm like, they tried, but I got the upper hand. So, but anyways, no, but that's the thing though with sneakers, is that they're not cheap. There are some cheap sneakers out there. You could go to a store like Famous Footwear or certain areas in Foot Locker, what else, Champs, Dick's Sporting Goods store, where they might have some cheap shoes. But the shoes that these guys were stealing, so there's these very popular, well, I ain't gonna say popular, but they got a distinctive look though. But anyways, it's the Nike Vapor Max sneakers. Now they have a wide variety of all these different Vapor Max sneakers, where the uppers are slightly different things, but these guys, they stole a bunch of different pairs. and that's the thing with Vapor Maxes is that let's just see, because I remember when I very first got into them, they were 200. I think now they're going for a lot more than 200. But let's just see exactly the dollar amount of Vapor Max. They got them on, okay, so the ones that, there's like the Nike Air Vapor Max Plus, and I think those were the ones that they stole. I remember, yeah, they were still in that, and it was like multiple colorways, but here, so they got where there's one that's cheap, that's cheaper, that's $157.97, but outside of that sale, it's $210. Then they got these other two, which are white. You would think like the colorful ones would be more expensive than the white and black ones, but I guess not. Anyways, but yeah, they got the white and black ones there, $220. These guys had multiple bags of sneakers, and when the cops had like laid out all the different sneakers, I think they had laid it out on the hood of the cop car. Fam, it was covering the hood. It was covering the whole hood of the cop car, and I'm like, bro, that's the thing that people don't understand. That's always the point that I was trying to make. Like, when you still, like, you got two, and so, like, let's say if it was, like, 10 pairs, 200 times 10, hold on for a second, wait a minute, it's like 2,000, because if you take, so, like, 200 times 10, you got the 2 zeros with the 200, one with the 10, so, yeah, I'm going based off of my elementary math and stuff, but, anyways, $2,000, that's a felony. You can't steal that much, and then it's just not going to, and then especially on top of that, if the store wants to, and they most likely gonna press charges. So that's why I'm like, and then, so switching back to these Porch Pirates, they're all like, okay, well, I know it's going to be a problem if I steal at these stores. Maybe it might not be that much of a problem if I steal from somebody's home, and they look like they got some stuff getting delivered to their homes and stuff. Let me just go ahead and take that. Nah. Because that's the thing where I'm like, I'm seeing so many different videos where people are like, they're messing with these Porch Pirates. I remember the one video, the guy, he rigged it to where the box had did something. I can't remember what exactly it did. But no, them Porch Pirates were getting upset. And I'm like, that is funny. Good on whoever that guy is that did that video. I'm like, where you're upsetting these Porch Pirates. But from that, you have it where Porch Pirates done had guns pulled out on them. The one guy, he rigged the box to explode, so the guy picked it up, box explodes underneath his arm. The guy, and that was a crazy thing about that video. That was one of my favorite Porch Pirate videos. That's a video that brings tears to my eyes just because of how funny it is. And I know there's going to probably be people out there trying to defend that. I'm like, there's no defense for stealing. There ain't no defense for that at all. I'm like, let it happen to you and see how quick you going to be on not defending Porch Pirates and stuff. But anyways, because, yeah, you'll have somebody out there trying to defend that. All like, oh, well, they're struggling. They're trying to... I'm not hearing none of that. I'm like, I'm struggling trying to figure out why is my stuff not here, or why they get stolen and things. But nah, so anyways, there's a video where the guy, he goes, so yeah, he rigged the box to explode. It didn't do no damage to the guy, but overall it was like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's embarrassing almost. And for this guy, it was extra embarrassing for him. So anyways, he picks up the box, he starts running with it, box explodes. Guy falls down, he don't know what's happening. At some point in time, he rolls over to where we get a direct view of his bottom area. Man used the bathroom on himself. Not a number one, a number two. That's what he did. And the guy is yelling at him through the, I think it was his doorbell camera. But, well, it was like the camera was from up above. But I don't know. I think it was, yeah, it was either a doorbell or one of those. He was just talking to him through his camera. But, yeah, I was like, that's embarrassing. That's just flat out embarrassing. But that's the thing, though. That's what's going to happen is that these people, they're doing it to these houses. They don't know who's living in them houses. They don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, they're going to find themselves in the situation to where now it's like you're fighting for your life. Not that guy, though. It's like you going to have to go to, you're going to either have to go back home or go to, well, he probably ain't got no money. That's why he's stealing and stuff. So, but, no, it's like you are going to have to go back home and change your pants. I'm like, fam, you soiled yourself. I'm like, you manured yourself. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, sir, you shouldn't, if you're going to be doing things like that, you shouldn't be no porch pirate. And that's the thing where it's like, it trips me out with like videos, like when I be watching them shoplifting videos where I'm like, you have all this time to shoplift, be a porch pirate, all these other different things, but you ain't got the time to be focused on a career. You ain't got the time to be focused on getting a job, but you got time to be out here stealing. And I know there's going to be people out there that's going to try to defend that. And I'm like, what is there to defend? There's nothing to defend with being a porch pirate. There's nothing to defend with being a shoplifter. You got to understand that there are people that work extremely hard to get these things that they're ordering online or, you know, whatever and stuff. Because the one that was like pretty messed up was that I think it was a kid that them Porch Pirates had stole from. But I think the kid got like a wrestling belt or something. And it wasn't like like them like in the aisle like in Target or something, like them plastic belts. No, this kid had like an exact replica of one of those of WWE belts and things. Porch Pirate people took it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, you know, I wonder like what was the update on that story. Hold on for a second. Porch Pirate steals wrestling. Wait a minute. There was like steals box of spiders, dirty diapers, package from FedEx, Apple Watch. A box of spiders though? That's insane. Wow, there's like Black Widows. Nah, that's insane. That is honestly, that happened back in, there's like Porch Pirates unwittingly stole boxes containing 9 tarantulas. Do you understand? Here's the thing. I'm not, you know, a porch pirate, but let's just say I'm like, okay, life is getting hard. I'm struggling. I'm going to become a porch pirate. I go and take some box off of a person's. I'm like, oh, I'm shaking a box. I'm like, oh, this sounds like it's something valuable in here, right? You're opening up the box. You're inside your home, all right? I'm inside my home. I'm opening up this box, and there's 9 alive tarantulas in that box. At this point, you gotta move out. Like, nah, bro, you gotta move out. And I'm like, nah, that's one of those things where it's like, nah, you can't, you know, just go up against 9 tarantulas like that. You know, with me, it's like, I got a little bit of an arachnophobia thing going on. So, like, that will be my worst nightmare. You know, and that's something where I'm like, and you know, to that porch pirate, I do hope that they have arachnophobia. I really do. And I'm like, that's one of those things where I'm like, I would have loved to have seen that person's reaction when they open up that box. Because you know they probably scream, man or a woman. They most likely scream. They was like, nope. And I guarantee and I promise you, that was the last time they did that again. That was the last time that they did anything Porch Pirate related. But anyways, but no, yeah, that's crazy. A box of spiders. I'm like, man, out of all things, wrestling belts. I think there was Thieves Return. Oh no, they returned. Oh wow. There's like Thieves Return WWE belts stolen from boy with brain tumor. And that's the crazy thing about it, where it's like, you know, you see that, because I'm pretty sure they had to have talked about it on the news. I think that's what they did. I think they did talk about it on the news. I don't remember them saying anything about the boy having a tumor. Maybe they did, but I just don't remember. But you have to realize like how bad that is, where it's like, okay, you have that choice. You get these wrestling belts, you sell them off somewhere, you get the money, but then there's this boy with a brain tumor that's never going to get these belts again. And that's the thing with these WWE belts. Let's just go on to the WWEshop.com. By the way, I am partnered with WWE Shop. I need to work on, like, you know, publicizing that sponsorship and thing. But yeah, I got like a little partnership thing going on with them. But dang, yeah, like wrestling belts aren't cheap, bro. They got the like the undisputed WWE Championship replica title belt that's $599. Then they got the WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt that's $599. Then they got the WWE Championship belt. That don't look no different than the undisputed belt. It honestly, okay, so the back part is like gold, and then the WWE Championship belt it's black. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, now I'm seeing the difference. But that's $529. They have it where then they have like that the big gold World Heavyweight Championship. I think that was like the WCW belt. But anyways, 524. What else? Even the women's world heavyweight world heavyweight. My fault to the women's champions out there. But there's no such thing as the women's world heavyweight championship. Because it's like you see the other ones, and then it's like, yeah, you know, you get caught up. I'm about to have like every female wrestler hating me. There is no such thing as I know. Just bear with me here, all right. But anyways. But no, even the women's world championship belt, it's $524. Then they got this John Cena farewell tour belt where it's the spinning belt where it's like a new version of it though, but that's $699. What else? Yeah, they got like a gang of belts on here where it's like they're all over $500. Oh, wait a minute. There's like I don't think that one, it's not a replica, but still though, it's pretty expensive. $369 and stuff. Yeah, they got like quite a few of these belts where it's like even the United States, they like them smaller belts and stuff. Like the United States Championship, I think I scrolled past the Intercontinental Champion, even the old Intercontinental Championship, where it's that one's $524. So I don't know how many belts that kid had ordered, but it's like, imagine being that parent where you're ordering them belts and then some porch pirate takes them. I'm going out on a manhunt. I'm like, no, that's one of those things where I'm like, nah, I gotta find out who did that. I gotta, I'm doing some John Wick stuff and I'm tracking these people down. I'm like, I'm going to neighbors' homes. I'm going like doing any and everything possible to find out who them porch pirates are, because I'm like, that's insane, bro. That's insane. And then it's like, on top of that, to steal it from a kid that has a brain tumor, I'm like, bro, I guarantee and I promise you that guilt and just them being, they felt that. And, that's why they returned them belts. But I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that stuff in the first place. So that's, so that's one thing they always say in them videos where they be like people shoplifting and stuff. Go out, get you a job. So you don't have to worry about shoplifting, being a porch pirate, just doing any form of stealing whatsoever. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.